Yes. You've been to Badr? MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Freshie. You're a freshie. MashaAllah. No mangeta. You're a freshie. Did you eat karele?
We were there for a few hours.
That's enough to eat karele. How long do you think it takes to eat karele? Huh? Did you miss that talk?
No, I was there.
I told you the karele talk, and you didn't go. You went to Badr. You didn't eat karele. Kya fayda hai? Next time you go Badr, eat karele. Allahu Akbar. Karele are khatte, right? Not Badr karele. They're mitte. Subhanallah. The Sahaba, the barakat of the Sahaba. Allahu Akbar. So he's saying, was it Badr and Uhud and all these battles, okay? He goes, my father used to teach us the Maghazi and all these Sariyas, the military detachment, the Sahaba, the Prophet used to send here and there. He used to teach us all these. And he said, Ya Bunay, Puttar, Bunay means Puttar. Ya Bunay, oh my son. Hada sharafu abaikum. I don't know how to say that in Punjabi, but this is the sharaf, I'm trying my best, the sharaf of your forefathers, your ancestors. فَلَا تُضَيِّئُوا ذِكْرَهَا. So don't lose this, don't forget this. They should take this seriously, because if you look back and you look at the sacrifices those people made in order for this deen to reach us, incredible. People gave their lives and sacrificed everything they had just for the sake of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then Imam Zuhri, the great muhaddith, the great hadith master, said, "Fi ilm al-maghazi khayru dunya wal-akhirah." In the knowledge, in the science of maghazi, the battles of the Prophet, you will find the best of the dunya and the akhirah. The best of the dunya. Why? Obviously, because the maghazi are speaking about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The maghazi are speaking about Sahaba, the men and the women of them. So this is the best of dunya and the akhirah. Now, in terms of the Shama'il, now, Imam Jasus, Muhammad ibn Qasim Jasus, has this wonderful commentary on the Shama'il of Imam Tirmidhi. Imam Tirmidhi, great hadith master, different to the Sunnah books, Jami' Tirmidhi. He has one of the most celebrated books of Hadith Sharif called Ash-Shama'il Tirmidhi, Ash-Shama'il Muhammadi by Imam Tirmidhi. And maybe some of you students have read this, which Muhammad Yaqubi. Who's read this? Yeah, mashallah, there you are. So this is something that's read and taught in the Muslim world. And it's generally read in a day or sometimes over a longer period of time. And Imam Jasus has a commentary on this. And he speaks about, in the opening he mentioned this. He goes, إِذَا ذُكِرَتْ شَمَائِلُ مَنْ إِلَيْهِ إِنْتَمَمْتَ بَيْنَ الْوَرَى أَسْمَ الشَّمَائِلِ إذا ذكرت شمائل من إليه انتممت بين الورى أسمى الشمائل رأيت السامعين تميل وجدا كأغصان تحركها شمائل. When the Shama'il of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he's about to speak about this book, and when he goes, when the Shama'il, when people speak about Hazrat Pak Sallallahu Qali Zulfan and so forth, when the Shama'il are mentioned, okay, of he towards whom you associate yourself. Who do you associate yourself to? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's who you associate yourself to. And when the Shama'il of the one you associate yourself to are mentioned, okay, amongst the creation, okay, the most sublime characteristics, the Shama'il of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will see the Sami'een, those who are listening to the Shama'il being narrated, the Shama'il being mentioned. You will see those who are listening to it, Tamilu Wajdan. They move side to side. And you can't, and when we speak in Arabic or English, our Babajans and our fathers and so forth, you don't see them moving, do you? When the Naat Khan stands and reads Naat Sharif, right? Kali Kali Zulfa. This is Shama'il. What is he doing? He's reading the Shama'il of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the Naat Sharif, in Urdu, Punjabi, when you have Shabaz, Qamar Afridi and all these Naat, they're reading those hadith. They're speaking about how he used to walk, on the dust of Madinah. This is all Shama'il. What do you see with those listening? they start to move around. What? They get this ecstasy, not the one on the streets, okay? Ecstasy of love, halal ecstasy, okay? Halal high, halal high, not the haram high, okay? And they get this budged when these characteristics of the Prophet are mentioned. And they're like ka'alsanin, they're like branches of trees, okay? Tuharrikuha shama'il. Yeah, those people listening who are moving, they're like branches. And what moves branches? The wind. But what moves these people? The shama'il. Do you not see this sometimes? You know, sometimes people, oh, they do this high, they get into it. They can't control this. This is love. You get it? You don't have this love. People have it in different ways. You know, you say to you sit in a gathering, you Mercedes, somebody jumps up, yeah, I love Merc, yeah, off he goes. You know, somebody else you say Suarez, yeah, you see the way he twisted his Man United defenders and scored that goal. Do you remember it? They get really excited. Different people have different love, love for different things. Okay, for some is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For some it be some Amitabh Bachchan or this Bachchan or that Bachchan or Haram Bachchan, whatever else. You know, for them is that. Not for Muhammadi. You see people from this nation, wallahi, young people like these ones. You know, men and women. Don't forget the women, men and women. MashaAllah. You think these boys are born in England? You think they're born in Pakistan or something? They got Dari and Jubba and MashaAllah, you know. And these boys are born in England. Ajib. Allahu Akbar. If they're born in England, they should be roaming the streets, you know, and twittering away and BlackBerry messaging away and meeting people here and there. Allahu Akbar. Allah, look how Allah puts the love of the Prophet ﷺ in the heart of these young people. Beautiful. Wallahi, only Allah knows how the Prophet will receive people like you. He loved young people. I told you this last time. It's incredible. This is an incredible miracle. You know, this is tawfiq from Allah that He chooses young people to come to His house and sit here and do His dhikr and get excited about the Prophet ﷺ. This is tawfiq from Allah. May Allah give you more, inshallah ta'ala. And then he said, the way this seerah has got to us is through chains of narration. We have a lot of hadith, and hadith are narrated by people, and this is a very important point, and I probably want to end with this point, okay? Before speaking about the importance of seerah. You know, we have these chains. You know, you hear a story, say, Bawa, you know, your mum says, your dad says, and Bawa, you know, they tell you a story. So you heard that story from your mum. Your mum heard it from her father. So you heard it from your nanaji. So when you narrate, you say, my nana used to do this. Who told you? My mum told me. Who told mum? Mum was there. She saw it. You see this? And you get there's a chain. Okay. In hadith you have the same. It's just that it goes back longer because it's 1400 years or for 1500 years. The Sahaba saw the Prophet ﷺ. Then Abu Bakr Siddiq tells his son. He tells his son, and it keeps passing on like this all the way to us today. Now, these people in the chains are very important, okay? And he mentions this. He goes, people serve the Sirah and the Shama'il, okay? And they did this for a reason, because they wanted to be a means. They wanted to be a means. These people who preserve the memory. Me again, sorry. They wanted to be a means, okay, in filling the hearts of young people like today, mashallah, young brothers and sisters, with the love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They wanted to be a means. They wanted to be a means of delivering this. Like you see these young Rizwan and Shamas, you know, mashallah, I haven't met them, but they're a means. They're young people, and you got Waqas is going and Hassan's going. You know, they're going to study. They will become a means. You see, they're going to become a means in sending or passing this knowledge on to the next generation. Allah will use them as a means. Do you get it? So these people were a means to pass that love on. And he says, you should not neglect the means. Okay, these are very important people, the ulama. Okay, and it said these great muhaddithin and people who are in these chains and who teaches our knowledge. He said, it is said, وَقَدْ قِيلَ كَمَا أَنَّ أَهْلَ الْقُرْآنِ أَهْلُ اللَّهِ. And it said about the people of Quran, Sheikh Amr and the Hafizes that we have, mashallah. These are the people who memorize Quran, they're Ahlullah, the people of Allah. This is how it comes, people of Allah, because they have the Quran, the book of Allah in their hearts. And they narrate it day and night. They revise it in Ramadan, they memorize it, they teach it to others. Very important people. Very special people. Anybody who has memorized Quran, a very special person. Allah has chosen you. Anybody who busies themselves in memorizing Quran, you have tawfiq from Allah. Okay. But also the people of Hadith. Okay. They said the people of Hadith, they are the people of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ahlu Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they said, they sang this. وَقَدْ قِيلَ كَمَا أَنَّ أَهْلُ الْقُرْآنِ أَهْلُ اللَّهِ. They said, أَهْلُ الْحَدِيثِ هُمْ أَهْلُ اللَّهِ. أَهْلُ الْحَدِيثِ هُمْ أَهْلُ النَّبِيِّ وَإِنْ لَمْ يَصْحَبْ. Sorry, I mistaken read that. The people of Hadith said, أَهْلُ الْحَدِيثِ هُمْ أَهْلُ النَّبِيِّ وَإِنْ لَمْ يَصْحَبُوا نَفْسَهُ أَنْفَاسُهُ صَحِيبُ. The people of Hadith, they are the people of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, and even though they did not keep the company of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because in order for you to be a Sahabi, you have to be in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you're not in the time of the Prophet, you're not the Sahabi. Okay, you come later. However, their breaths, their moments are spent reading the Hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and for that reason, they become the people of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Hadith Sharif generally, the more Hadith Sharif you read, the more time you spend with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because every Hadith will say, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and then you will read what he said. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. So on your tongue you will bring the exact words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Very beautiful. You see, we're very aware of Quran. When we read Quran, reading the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Hadith is an incredible beauty too, because these are the two main sources. And then he mentions this, and I'm going to end with this, okay, which is highlighting the rights and of the scholars, the ulama. Very important, okay, because they're a means, okay, of this knowledge coming to us. Okay, they're the ones who sweated, okay, and spent from their money and their effort, okay, and their physical everything. People give a lot for the deen. They're the ones who spent all that. They made all those sacrifices in order to memorize and preserve this religion and then bring it to us. So there needs to be respect shown to these people, okay, the ulama. And then he said we must honor our shuyukh. Who's the Imam Jasus is speaking, okay? We must show them respect. We must fulfill their rights. Okay, they have rights over us. They have haqq over us. We should fulfill the rights. And if you can't do this, then you should make dua for them. You see, if you can't respect Maulvi Sahab, Hafiz Sahab, any scholar, any teacher, it can be any teacher, okay? If you can't respect them, you can't honor them, you can't give them gifts and so forth, the least you should do is give them a dua. Remember them, on your tongue every day. Ya Allah, have rahmat on my teacher who taught me Quran Sharif. Allah, have rahmat on my teacher, you give him tawfiq, who taught me the tafsir of Quran or hadith. You get it, so forth. This is their right, because we know the famous hadith of the Prophet, Man lam yushkir nas lam yushkir Allah. Whoever does not show shukr to the people has not shown shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you're shukr, you're really grateful, okay? And then you should be saying thank you to people. And you're saying thank you to people and thanking them is you're thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then in another hadith, Man ustiya ilaykum or Man asta ilaykum ma'rufun fakafi'u fa in lam taqdiru fad'u lahu. Or kama qala alayhi sallam, if somebody does some good to you, okay, somebody does some good to you, then pay them back. Do good back for them. Help them out in another way. And if you can't, make dua for them. And if you can't make dua for them, oh, that's not good. And so who are the people who've done good for you? First and foremost, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then the Sahaba, they gave everything they had. They sacrificed their houses in Makkah Sharif. They left it all for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they went to Medina Sharif. They left their houses. They literally walked out of their house. They did not take their DFS sofas with them and their flat screen, Samsung flat screens. You know, they couldn't take them with them, okay, and their PlayStations and their, maybe they could take the iPads, because quite like to carry, but, you know, they left everything. You get it? All of it. The beautiful carpet, Kashmiru andisi, you know, ek kambal Pakistan mangwaya si, none of it, all of it, they left it. And they followed the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they went to Medina Sharif, okay, and they sacrificed, and the Sahaba, Tabi'in came out, they did the same, and so forth. And then he says, so they're people we need to thank, they're people we need to remember. So, Ya Allah, have rahmah on the Sahaba, may be pleased with them. And all of our teachers that have come in those chains and so forth. Because, why? Because showing respect to them, okay, and showing respect to our teachers and so forth, is in reality khidmah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When you show respect to your teachers and imams and so forth, this is your khidmat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? Because these people, they are the ones who bring victory to the religion with the permission of Allah. They are carrying the burden of this religion, passing, you know, that knowledge to us, and so forth. So they're serving the Quran, they're serving the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. They're carrying the weight of Sharia on their shoulders. They are the khulafa of Allah on this earth. So they deserve that respect. And one example for this is a great scholar called Abu Muawiyah al-Darid. He was blind. Great scholar in the time of Harun al-Rashid. He was a blind scholar. And he was there. And he ate with Harun al-Rashid. And Harun al-Rashid poured water over his feet. Maybe he was making wudu. Poured water over his feet. Okay? And somebody next to him said to him, فَقَالَ رَجُلٌ أَتَدْرِي مَنْ يَصُبُّ عَلَيْكَ? He goes, do you know who's pouring water on you, on your feet? Or? And he said, قُلْتُ لَا. He said, no, I don't know. قَالَ أَنَا. So Harun al-Rashid said, it's me. Okay? And he goes, إِجْلَالًا لِلْعِلْمِ. He said, and why am I doing this? He goes, out of respect for the knowledge that you carry. That's why Harun Khalifa, he's pouring water on the feet of the scholar. He's blind, he can't even see who it is. What are you doing this for? Because not out of respect for who you are. You know, when we stand for our teachers, we don't stand for shows because he's Jat and he's from, was it Thara, was it the tribes? I'm not getting used to this. I better mention all of them now and get in trouble, but let's not go into that one, okay? Let's play it safe, okay? I didn't say nothing. I don't care. I don't care. Do you get it? You don't care who you are. It's that knowledge. That's why in Islam, for example, you find slaves. They became masters because of their knowledge. They were slaves, but their knowledge was so immense and so great, people would kiss their hands. Hey, this is a slave. It's like saying, no, we're not going to tribes again. I'm staying away. It's just because of Quran they memorize, because of Hadith they memorize. I mean, one of the best examples, Sayyidina Bilal. He's one of the best examples. He's a black slave from Makkah. In Makkah, he has no worth. Nobody cares. He's the toy of the children. Put a rassi on his neck and they drag him in the street. They think it's fun. This is how bad it is. And this shows you how incredible this man is. That they would literally put a rassi around his neck and drag him around the streets. What do? You do that? Animals. They would treat him worse than an animal. Sayyidina Bilal. And look what happens, subhanAllah. The Prophet ﷺ, he comes to Medina Sharif because of that love of Allah and those sacrifices he made, that ma'rifah he carries in his heart, and his love for Rasulullah ﷺ. When he enters Makkah again, how does he enter? He was from amongst a handful of Sahaba who entered the Kaaba with the Prophet ﷺ. Only a handful, and he was a black slave. Why did the Prophet ﷺ not walk in with Quraysh? Qurayshi people like him, they would have said, up in it, they're all a big tribe. No, it's not about that. He took in, I think he had sent a Zayd on one side, a slave, and sent a Bilal on the other side. And then he told Sayyidina Bilal to climb up the Kaaba and call the Adhan. And one of the men said, he goes, he said, thank God, he found some sweetness and some, peace of mind in the death of his father. His father died a few days ago. And he goes, Allah na shukr hai. Abba photo again. He doesn't have to see this Kala, Jamaica, because Pakistanis, anybody black, they're all the same. They're all from Jamaica. Do you know that? Yeah, do you know that? And Pakistanis, right? Anybody, Kala is from Jamaica. Oh, Jamaica. They forget, Africa's a large place. There's a lot of Muslims there too. He goes, thank God, my father passed away a few days, so he doesn't have to witness this slave climbing the Kaaba. He found peace in this. It shows you how much hatred they had for these people. But the point I'm trying to make is, this Abu Muawiyah said, he goes, who is this? And he said, is Ana. Harush said, it's me. And I'm doing this out of respect for the knowledge that you have. Ijladan lil-ilm. فَقُلْتُ, he said, I said to him, جَزَاكَ اللَّهُ عَنَّا خَيْرًا Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, may Allah reward you. Jazakallah khair. Amir al-Mu'mineen, may Allah reward you. Jazakallah khairan. فَمَا أَكْرَمْتَ إِلَّا Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hey, it's command. What you're doing now with this pani, pouring it over the feet, right? You're not respecting me. Huh? This come of you, this khidmat of our ulama and mashayikh, hey, this is your khidmat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? And he said, Qala sadaq. He said, you told the truth. He goes, then he said, Innama sababtu ala yadika. He goes, the reason why I poured water on your hands, so before his feet or hands, he must be making wudu, Allah alam. The reason why I poured water on your hands, Innama sababtu ala yadika, li'annaha kaffur. Because these are hands. Okay, these are hands. Okay. Anaita bi hadithi Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These are hands that you have used to serve the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahu Akbar. Look how they look at it. It's like the other Sahabi. When he was walking through one of the towns of Damascus, a tabi'i came to him and said to him, he asked him, did your hand touch the hand of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? But did this hand touch the hand of the Prophet? He said, yeah, I gave bay'ah to him, so he kissed it. Because it had touched the hand of the Prophet. So here, this is, again, it comes back to how do you look at it. People look at things different ways, you see. So, this is an incredible science, and it has got to us, this knowledge has got to us through incredible people in those chains, many of them. And those people, they did a lot for this deen. So we should be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by making dua for them. So our teachers and our teachers and people, all that is Sahaba, and obviously Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inshallah ta'ala, if we leave with this, that's the maghaz of this sort of reminder today, that, of course this is a great science.